We are live. Hello everyone. Hi, I'm Pratish Shetty. I'm from Dhaka College of Engineering Technology, currently pursuing BTech in Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning. I'm a part of various communities such as MindsDB, Hackspot, and etc. And me and Rishikesh, we are part of GenosisX community. So our community focuses on peer learning and community culture, open source stuff. So our main aim was to upskill the students, peers, and make them effective in the terms of technical skills as well as opportunities around them. And in today's session, we are going to explore that.
Yeah.
Rishikesh.
So, hello everyone. Myself Rishikesh Yadav, and I'm a pre-final year student of IT department from Thakur College of Engineering and Technology, and I like to participate into competitions and hackathons. I am more active into this, and I actively contribute into the communities like MindsDB, Kaggle, and as Pratik told, we work together to build GenosisX community. And that's all. So today we are going to talk about open source and communities. So Pratik, should we start or wait for a few minutes?
Let us wait for a couple of minutes. Until then, we can interact with our audience on the live chat. So, yeah.
Yep.
So, hi, audience. So, you can meet and greet us. So, so tell me about one thing you are excited to learn from this session. Like, do you do open source or not? So, tell me how many of people like already are into open source, like properly into it, and how many of you want to like explore it. Just drop a yay in the chat. Drop a yay in the chat. Okay. Hello, Rishikesh.
Yes.
I think we should start.
Okay. So, so as today we are going to discuss about what is open source and communities. So, let's see today's agenda. So, today's agenda is like what is open source, why should we do open source, and what is community significance of communities, and also we have a surprise opportunity for you all, and we will be discussing this at the end, like how you can contribute into that or participate particularly in that. So as you would be thinking about what exactly is open source, so if there is any uh, organization or company or anyone having a code closed, okay, and only some accessible person can view the code, then it's like a closed source code. Okay, so what is open source? If the code or any project is like open source to everyone, anyone can see to the code, and uh, the all the documentation also includes in that, and can modify in that and distribute the code to others. And so this is all over what is ओपन सोर्स एग्जैक्टली. हाँ, जैसे कि अगर कोई एक कोड है एंड यू फाउंड एनी बग और यू वांट टू ऐड एनी फीचर्स इन दैट, एंड दैट code is open source, then directly you can contribute into that. Okay, and you can distribute the code to the others without having any premium subscription or anything like that specifically. So this is all over about the open source. So what are the benefits of having an open source? First thing here we got to know is having accessibility, the distribution rights, the modification rights. It's all about the transparency and also about the flexibility which we got here. Hmm. It also promotes the open collaboration where anyone can collaborate to your code or to your project, to your documentation also. If it's non-coding stuff, then also there is no vendor lock-in. It means like there is no lock in sense, like as in कि वो कोड जो होगा उसमें कोई ऐसा नहीं होगा that there is an accessibility key like that. So it's an open source, and also like anyone can review the code. So there is a peer review in that. So then next we can see here some tools for open source developments are like Vercel. As we know, Vercel is used for hosting the websites. Okay, Thunderbird is for making the APIs. Then we have KeyPass for general public storage, key storage, and then GitHub. As we know, we used to work with different projects where we need to collaborate with our team members, and it helps to manage our work, management of our code or a project when we are working in a collaborative mode. And also it's the main thing where open source comes in. Then we have the other stuffs, other tools like VS Code, Linux, and Brave that we know all about. So here, what we exactly want to discuss about is GitHub Student Developer Pack. So GitHub used to collaborate with various other companies or organizations which used to give their premium subscription or like valuable resources free to the students at a zero cost. Okay, so many people have no idea related to this, that the various like as in key resources and opportunities are provided by the GitHub through the GitHub Student Developer Pack, and is it is really easy to avail it. Okay, and you can like have the usefulness of the tool is like in different like in various sectors. Like if I demonstrate like how to avail the Google Student Developer Pack and what are the benefits of that, then let's see here. So as you can see here, my screen of GitHub Student Developer Pack, you only need to have a sign up for Student Developer Pack. You need to have a account on GitHub. Only that's the requirement. So you can see here there are various stuff like here Figma subscription, and specifically hackathon in the cloud. Then for web development, JetBrains, DigitalOcean, Microsoft Azure, and here for virtual event kit, we can see here Namescape and StreamYard. Then here we can see a various uh, organizations or the companies, like we can see here educative, which gives like around 6 months free subscription of various courses. Then we have here Heroku, which is introduced recently, like this month only, which is like accessible for the students as they are going to be in the premium subscription. So they would be providing $13 USD per month for 12 months. So there is a no issue. If you want to deploy your website, then Heroku is the best website, best platform. And then we can see here .tech domains to host your website. Then the DataCam, the best platform for data science and machine learning stuffs, where you get the access of various courses, various guided project or non-guided project competitions, your workspace, all free for 3 months premium subscription by just having a student developer pack. So, and here you can see the front end masters, which have a lot of rich resources related to React and various front end stuffs, which you can have an access on. And you can see here the StreamYard on which we are streaming right now, and the MongoDB. So, and the type form here, which is the most interactive form as compared to the other form which you used to fill. So you can see there are various uh, useful resources which you can avail from by having a GitHub student developer pack. Only you need to do is just do a sign up, and after that it asks for you, like you are availing it for students or teachers. Teachers have a different stuffs. Then after clicking get student benefits, you will be just like there is one application here to fill why you need this pack, like how you are going to use that. And the second stage, we are at the second stage right now, which asks for the ID proof. Okay, so the thing to keep in mind is, if you are using your college email ID, the email ID provided by your college, and you are also attaching your ID proof, okay, original ID proof of your college having a particular academic year, then there might be a possibility of getting the like these resources in less than 10 minutes. And if you are not using your college email ID and using your personal email ID and not having a proper original ID, then it might take a week. Okay, so it's not a big process to for an application here. You can easily avail it and use the resources uh, in a like most outmost manner. So this is all about the, okay, how to get this back. Only you need to have a GitHub account, and that GitHub account should have a name and bio in that. Only the specification is that only. And after that, you just need to click here, sign up for student developer pack, and fill a basic like in benefit section, just fill the basic details why you need this pack. Only a one question, and then identity proof, like you are for just for a justification, I like you are a student. Yes, sir. So that's what I wanted to talk about this pack. Then next we'll move to the uh, Hacktoberfest. So Pratik would gonna take over now. Hello, Pratik. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Everyone needs a starting point in their career, like where to start and how to start. So for open source journey, the best way is to get started with the Hacktoberfest. So what is Hacktoberfest? Hacktoberfest is an event organized by Digital Ocean. So it partners with many open source organizations, and every year in the month of October, it organizes a fest known as Hacktoberfest, where many contributors, maintainers, and users can come together and explore the open source world. So how to explore? You can either be a contributor that is contribute to others repo that is open source, and
Okay, I think so. There is any network issue. Um,
yes, hello, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
you are clearly
you
audible
can
now.
contribute, maintain, or you can be a user. So GitHub normally gives swags as in a token of appreciation for people who make open source a lot better through their contributions to the community. So let's see. For example, if you want to contribute, you can go to their website of Hacktoberfest, and there you can register either as a maintainer, contributor, or both. You can also organize events if you are well enough and you want to educate your teammates about open source, how to get journey started. You can do that also. So Hacktoberfest 2022. So it's I guess 8 days left or a week left, maybe, but it's not too late. It's enough time for you to make contributions. And remember, it's not about making four pull requests or four contributions. It's about making contributions count. Make contributions that are valuable enough, because after October there is November, there is December, there is a whole year of 23. So you can contribute every damn time. It does not require to be Hacktoberfest only. You will be contributing. You can contribute anytime, and that is what Hacktoberfest is, just a stepping stone. That is making you a habit of contributing to others' repos to the open source. So it's programming time, guys. So
Okay, so I would like to add one more thing here. Like, uh, people used to contribute as in by adding some CB code or some basic algorithms. Okay, and they used to add it as a PR in Hacktoberfest, which is a spammy PR. Because why it's called a spammy PR, you are not contributing or adding a value to any code. Okay, no, not adding a value to a code or not adding a value to an organization or any project. So it's just for completing the PRs, not having a value addition, and that makes like that makes the beginner to be stuck in the beginner's trap only. Okay, and they never used to get the exposure of the open source, and they used to get indulged in the wrong stuffs, basically the spammy PRs. uh, so you might encounter various repos which will tell you to just add the basic CP code, computer programming code, or DSA, or basic algorithms, which is not open source exactly. Pratik, would you like to add on into this?
yes. So, for example, many beginners are like afraid, like how we will be able to contribute to open source. They see the structure and schema of open source repos, how they, well maintained they are, and they think like how will we be able to dwell with that, because they are beginners, so they don't have much knowledge. But let me tell you, you can contribute to documentation, you can contribute small changes too, but they should be meaningful, like fixing some navigation issues or fixing some broken site, like create their UI better. But instead doing cheat codes or stuff like that, adding your profile, that does not count as a contribution that is valuable enough, and you will not learn anything. In the end, the process of Hacktoberfest is to learn and build upon that. You have to build a good GitHub profile, because any recruiter will come, he might see your previous work, he might see how your GitHub contributions are, what projects or open source you have contributed to, how is your development journey. So that will be helpful to showcase your hard work you have done through years or months long. So I would say refrain from those things and always do quality contribution, even if they are lesser in numbers, they do count much more. So and there are more opportunities like Hack Squad. So what Hack Squad is, uh, like you play games, you create squad. It is similarly, open source is a game and you can create a squad there. You can hack with your buddies, you can contribute to open source, and like for example, I am Rishikesh are in a team, so we both will contribute simultaneously. We will accumulate points. They say the more the merrier, so more the people, more the contribution, and it's like a challenging path. Like you have to be in the top teams, then it's a good thing. Like you join this program of Hack Squad, and they will also reward the top 60 participants. You can find Hack Squad and you will get all the details about it. You can check it out. And there are hackathons, so I guess it can be discussed about those things. We also have future videos discussing about it in detail. So currently we are discussing about open source. So let's go, Rishikesh. So tell me about your journey of open source.
Yeah. Hello. Your voice is a bit cracking.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could you please
Tell me
repeat?
about
Yeah.
your journey of open source. Like
Yeah.
yes.
So
Tell me about
I
your journey of open source. How you
yeah.
came into it.
Yeah, like I noticed like various organizations opening up their code and asking for their like to resolve their issue, and like I got excited like uh, should like I have a question कि क्या beginners इसमें कर सकते हैं, like I was like कि अगर ये करना है तो I should be in the fourth year or like that, like I was having that dilemma in like my first or second year. So then I started with first MindsDB, and then I got to know कि first, if you are not having an exposure to any organization, okay, and you are excited to work on the project, first you need to learn about their technology, about how they work, and according to that you can expand or extend their stuffs to add a value in that. So this is all about my journey. So like specifically I have already said that I used to contribute into MindsDB and Kaggle. Okay, so maybe because of network issue, Pratik left. So as we were discussing about the various opportunity, so we have an exciting wait for a Pratik. Wait. Hmm. So like we have an exciting opportunity for you all, which is Pratik. Hello.
Yeah. Sorry.
Ah,
Actually, network issues from my side, so I will have to close my video. So yeah.
could you please go
So
on with
as I was discussing, like, how
that project submission?
is about how to submit your projects on Hack Squad. So what
Hmm.
Hack Squad is bringing is, it is bringing an open source contest like where you can project submit your innovative project. So if you have some innovative projects on your GitHub account, so what you can do is you can go to Hack Squad Discord channel, and there is an open source contest forum. There you can submit your project. Either you can submit your links. It is better if you submit a video because it will allow them to review it better. I will be dropping these links on the group. So yeah, I will coordinate that. So about
Well, I
talking
will.
about open source and yeah, about communities.
Yeah, I will.
So many people have doubt like how to join a community, what exactly it is. So would you like to elaborate on it?
Uh, Sorry, what?
Yeah, many people have a doubt like how to join a community or what exactly it is. So can you enlighten people about it?
About which community you are asking?
Like in general, communities.
General, any, okay. So there is not any any specific rule related to that. Only specifically, first you need to understand why community. Okay, so community gives you an exposure about the various stuffs which you would not have get exposed to. Okay, first thing is that. Second, you get the advantage of collaborating with various peoples, meeting with different people, and having a talk with them gives you a different perspective to the work you are working on, or getting to know what other peoples are working on specifically. So, and third thing is like you get the chance to collaborate with peoples, like-minded peoples, or people with different technology which you don't deal with, gives you a various different perspective related to research purpose, whether I say, or project, or various stuffs which we go through. Okay, and these are the points which a community offers you, and that's why there are some things we should contribute into the community. Okay, so that's where the open source comes in, and like there is not specific any rule to be a part of a community. You just need to be active, interactive, and like to share stuffs uh, with others, to discuss your work, like that. And there is nothing any rule related to that. Yeah, Pratik, would you like to share your experience?
So before that, I was in community, but I was passively in community, not actively. So when I got to MindDB, I joined a Slack channel. I had interaction with people from their CEO, even CEOs. So I saw that they have a lot of teams. They always welcome new members and encourage them to contribute to their projects. Either it can be small contribution like documentation, or it can be like writing technical blogs or write-ups, and it can be big contribution like creating integration, working on the main project, being a community maintainer. So I just got overwhelmed by the amount of things we can do really by joining a community and being active part of it. And yeah, I think Dheeraj is with us. Hello, Dheeraj.
Yeah, hello
Hello, hello
Dheeraj.
everyone. I hope my mic is not that
Yeah,
bad. This is really
Yeah,
great.
no, it's audible,
I
clearly
was
audible.
like super excited for the session. I mean, this is the right time for anyone to get started with open source if they're
Yeah,
a beginner. And communities, when you people are like doing such a great work for that, so
yeah,
it's really awesome. Before we like move on, just a little bit of
and
introduction
still
from
it,
my side.
yeah,
Everyone, I'm Dheeraj Jahan. I also have my community site as Coders, which I've co-founded with my college mates. And yeah, let the conversation keep going.
Okay. So thank you for being here. And would you like to share like your opportunity through communities? It's flickering.
Yeah, sure. When I mean, it pretty much goes for any like technical community if you're trying to join. The first thing which comes in that why you're joining, right? Like it could be like, okay, just for friends or something like that. But when it comes to like joining community for a reason, like when I had started out, like I think one of the uh like first community when I actually got to know what a community is, I think the first community I had joined was MLH. And even though I have been part of the Discord server and stuff, but I never understood and never felt like being part of a community until I realized what a community actually means, you know. And at that time, it was such a great experience to like just collaborate on stuff. And they had this, so like every community you will see if you join there, they must be having some or the other like some mission to let the community members be there and have events around the same, right? Like the Genesis tries to do around open source and machine learning and all that stuff. Same, my community
Yeah.
tries to like encourage people to for project based learning, and like our events will be similar in those terms, and that's why you join that community to get an exposure and opportunities via the same, right? And I believe that if you're joining any community, then you will pretty much get this an exposure that what opportunities that community can bring. And apart from that, as you all already said, that if you are joining a community, you get to connect with new people. You try to connect with new people. They get to know about your stuff. You be a part of community. You get to know new people. You can collaborate on new stuff, and just being part of community, which again, as people say, the three C's, right? Code, community, and collaborate and
Yeah.
stuff, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, and there is a lot of opportunities, but I believe that it's kind of is specific to like every community. But from the above, it's just the collaboration side, the connecting with other people and just having fun, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. So hello, Pratik. Is you are not audible, Pratik. You are not audible. Okay. So so the motive of today's session is like you are still not late, like as the half of the October had gone, but still you are not late. Still you have time to contribute in
Yeah, hello.
Hacktoberfest other opportunities, which is in October. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pratik, go on.
Yeah, yes. So guys, like many people ask me one question, like, why are you doing community stuff? Like, what, like, how you get opportunities through it? As Dheeraj and we have already discussed about it. And one more thing is like, communities generally organize meetups, events. So actually, it is there where you get real world opportunities. You can also
And
get through
as
remote.
Rishikesh said, like he's totally correct. That there is no better time to get started with open source because of Hacktoberfest is going on. There are so many
Yes.
communities, so many organizations are coming up and trying their best to give opportunities to new beginners. And now even so there are two ways you can contribute usually, which is like code and no code. And this time even Hacktoberfest, like the whole organization itself, Digital Ocean and other organizations are trying to encourage the no code contributions, because no one likes to be not part of a community where we are not just focusing on code stuff, when a lot of a lot of time goes into documentation, because you want new people to come in and use your technology, right? And this is why it's been really focused this time to have no code contributions, where you can contribute via understanding a technology, write a document, write a blog. And it's pretty good way for a person who is trying to like get into and make their own profile. I believe that documentation and having like blog skills and other stuff helps really a lot in building your profile. And even for Hacktoberfest or just getting started with open source, even if you're new to code and believe that you don't have a tech stack right now, there are a lot of organizations you can pretty much just search on Google. It's just one search away. Search that, okay, no code Hacktoberfest
Hmm.
first issues or something, and you will pretty much get a lot of app is there and a lot of big organizations. And even you can ask on Genosys Discord, and I'm pretty sure you will get a lot of links to help you out. Yeah.
And no code contribution in Hacktober also helps you to for the future opportunities. Like I would like to mention GSOD here, Google Summer of Documentation. So while filling the application there, they used to ask like whether have you done any research documentation or other documentation or like any contribution related to that. There you can submit your PR to have like a higher chance of probability of getting selected in GSOD. So there are other stuff also which like which opens the gateway like by having a valuable PR like that. So like that
Yeah,
there is
and
MLH or GSOC, various places you can submit your valuable PRs which you have did like this month. Is it
and there
flickering
are
my? Mhm.
no, you're audible
Okay.
enough.
Okay.
So, as Rishikesh and Dheeraj have already elaborated the best way, so let me add some valuable vital points to it. So, as in where this open source or community experience comes in handy. For example, you're applying for any organization, okay, or any companies like for remote work or anything, you can actually submit it as a portfolio, your open source work, your community experience. Like for example, you could be a community manager, or you can be a maintainer, you can be a contributor, you would have written technical documentation, for example. So according to that role you are applying, you can showcase your open source work through your github is your open source portfolio in the sense. And we will be also having one session on how to build go around and tweak around with your GitHub profile, and so that you build a great GitHub profile and open source contributor profile. So, would you? So now, me and Rishikesh would like to add some more valuable points on this community and open source. So Rishikesh, if you have anything, go around.
Would you like to continue with that about the opportunity which we have for everyone?
Yes, Hackspot, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So about Hackspot, so this is a company. So it is Novu. Novu is a company that allows. It is a company like Twilio. If you know what Twilio is, it is a messaging service. So Novu is
Hmm.
also a open source messaging service. So what they are doing is they, along with some two to three open source startup companies, they have been open source their code, and they are encouraging people to join into this Hacktoberfest. So they have created an alternate uh, contest known as Hack Squad. So what they are aiming is to bring in quality contributions from people and make them join these open source programs. And one thing I like about them is they don't allow spammy PRs or such, because they will remove it. And they have a great community of individual volunteers who always moderate the content and keep that best preserved content or top quality content only gets the recognition. So I would say that's the best way if you are a contributor. So you can create your squad and just contribute the whole October, like just go on a contributing spree. And also about that, you don't need to be contributing like 100 days of code, or you may say many people I see like create a green map. Okay, I will do this green map for 100 days, but that is not consistency. Like you have to contribute every day, you have to contribute to quality content once in a while. For example, when you are working in a project, you will be contributing a lot to that project, and you can just take a break. It does not need to be every day you have to contribute. When I was beginning, I also made this mistake. Like I had once done a contribution like 30 plus days, and then it broke. I felt bad. Then I realized, ki, oh no, it does not count anything. Like you're doing
Hmm.
365 days contribution continuous, it does not count. What counts is how many quality contribution you are making in that. And are you truly learning, or you're contributing just for the sake of contributions? So I think if you're a beginner, don't worry if you are not able to keep a streak and others are keeping streaks of 100 days, 365 days. Don't care about it. Only care if you are going through the right path. Are you making any quality contribution? Focus on that. Maybe you're contributing once in a month, that is also okay. But if you're contributing to some quality project, that is enough. You will gradually increase your contribution, and your contributing graph will be great. And then once you will look back, you will see what was my profile and now it's so awesome, right? It takes time to build a great profile. So if you are a open source geek, you want to dive into open source, this is the right time. You should give the opportunity. It's Diwali time, so it will all, it's be
Yeah.
having holidays. Yeah, you can enjoy and then you can code, right? And then it's November and December, so this is a proper time, because from January there will be summer, and in summer there is a lot of fellowship programs, GSO, etc. Open source programs too. Also in winter there are open source program like SWOP. So
Ah,
winter of code, there is summer of code, winter of code. So there is a lot of organization open source, they are facilitating this open source programs. And we also will be creating some programs like boot camps for you guys, if you want about open source development or about communities, etc. So yeah, I think this is the right time you should go around it, explore.
yep. So as Pratik was saying right now, the open source programs that we used to get opportunity of, like GSOC, GSOD, and like MLH, LFX, Red Hat. Would you like to elaborate more into this?
Okay, so Wilfred is asking, uh, wait, will the contribution Hacktober help in getting selected for GSOC? So yes, if you are doing quality contributions, you can showcase that in GSOC. Like as I told, your GitHub is your profile. If you have done quality PRs to open source project, then you can showcase it as for as in for GSOC. And for example, if you're contributing to an open source organization that has filed an entry into the GSOC, so that is even better. Like you have already contributed to that organization prior to applying for GSOC, so that makes the terms even and you have a better chance of qualification.
And I would like to add one more point, like specifically in GSOD, they used to ask like paste your valuable PR where you had done the documentation. Okay, that was the one thing that I have previously said. The second is there are various opportunities like Google machine learning boot camp or campaign like that, which used to come during July or August of the year, okay, during the summer time. And they used to ask like, have you contributed into machine learning open source code before, and if you had done, then please paste your PR code here, like that. So it really helps you to get shortlisted in like in a faster manner, or it increases your chance of probability. So you can specifically work according to that. Yes. Any other questions?
So one thing I can ask from the participants' behalf is many of them would be having question. Okay, this is all cool. You have told open source gives a lot of opportunities. It's helpful to get selected into this blah 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 open source program. But how to damn start it, right? From where to start? Because they will just go on Google. But which organization should I start? Like for example, I'm a web developer. I know this HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Node.js. I want to contribute to open source organization. Where will I find it? Like
Okay.
how
Yeah.
exactly?
Yeah, I also dealt with this issue in my beginning stage. That was like, I mainly deal with data science, data analytics, and machine learning stuff. So specifically, you need to have you need to give some time for the research purpose to find the your domain specific organizations, okay, which are open for Hacktober. Hacktober accepted uh, tags in that. Specifically, if you are focusing on Hacktober, it's not recommended. But like if you are focusing on an open source, then you just need to have a little bit of research on which organizations helps you, like which organization of your domain gives you the opportunity to like for the contribution, and then you can go for it. Like specifically if I talk about machine learning, then there are like ML pack or various data visualization communities also, which have an open code, and you can directly contribute into their code, and they are building the stuffs like packages, okay, which can be used by any user. And like a package is or a module, I can say. So it's a generalized modular code which can be used by anyone. So you can, like talking specifically to the machine learning, but there are other stuffs also. If someone is
Yeah.
from non-CFT background, so they can start with open source. Yeah, Pratik, could you please go on with it?
Yeah, I would like to
Yeah.
take up this question. So, yeah, I was expecting this question. Like, we are talking about CSIT student, right? But if someone is not from the CSIT background, does not have technical domain knowledge, so how can he start open source? So, first of all, I assume you know what open source is now, and if you don't, you can rewatch our live video once the stream ends. So what open source is, basically you're contributing to code or no code. As I said, no code, there are articles, there are blogs. So if you use a service, you can be a user and contribute to the open source as well. For example, you use a service like, I use a service known as Twilio. So Twilio is a messaging service. I am using it to send messages to different devices. Okay, so that is a open source organization, open source service. I am using it. I can write about how to use it, how to use it. Okay, so that is something you are doing, known as advocating about community. So that Twilio is an open source community. You are advocating about it as a user. So you are also an open source contributor in the sense. And if you want to start about open source journey as a code, so if you want to start with the coding journey, you can always start. It does not matter if you're from CSIT or non-CSIT. You can go apply for a GitHub pack, as Rishikesh has already told, and you will find a lot of videos about how to avail the GitHub Student Developer Pack. There you will get a lot of tools to learn about coding. For example, front end masters, 1 month web development, etc. And if you are like not diving into coding only, you have to do no code, you can go to organization like AVL. So AVL, yeah. So AVL is a organization that focuses mainly on no code technical writing. So they master in how to write technical things, or like how to properly summarize it, publish it. So if you are interested in writing like in no code domain, you can go to AVL. There are similarly many organization, open source organization, that focus on no code or technical writing. Uh, so you can go to that as well, or you can write about their service. You can spread a word about them. That is also a form of contribution.
Yeah, I have also shared the link of GSOT, Seasons of Dog, that you can check out. That is particularly where the open source projects are provided by the organization, and they needs a technical writer or any writer which can just elaborate their project. So this, if I talk about the timeline specifically, it used to come. The program starts from the month of February and March, and by the end of May they used to hire the technical writer. So specific organizations used to review your profile, and on the basis of that they just hire the technical writer, or like any student can apply in that, and after that they can work on that project by summarizing it in a best manner. like having an architecture, a proper documentation, a proper flow. So you should be having a little bit of experience related to that, and this is the right opportunity to go for it.
So there is one more thing. I think after that we can wind up, like open source, the future of technology. Like many people, as you saw, after the pandemic, especially a lot of startup organizations also navigating their code to open source because it is easy to find maintainer and contributor because people are willing to contribute to open source a lot because of Hacktoberfest previous success. I mean, that is great. So where do you see this going as a future of technology? Do you see, because I have seen a lot of company paid products have a alternative, a free alternative, right? So I think it is the future. Like many people will migrate to open source rather than the closed source because it has a lot of benefit, especially reducing the inventory cost or management cost. Only thing concerned is security, but as being open source also provides security layers now, as being GitHub doing a lot of work. There is control systems doing a lot of work to improve the security. Maybe in the future we can see that open source might become the future, and a lot of organization will switch to open source. What do you think?
Yeah, so specifically, if we are talking about the various organizations or companies switching to the open source, okay, so switching, what are the beneficial points for them? Switching to the open source will give them the next edge uh, transformation of having like a more improvement, a rapid improvement in a less time. The second point here is having a having a collaboration. Okay, so anyone can collaborate, the bug would be fixes more rapidly, anyone can contribute into their stuffs and came up with the new solution or more exciting, I can say. So like migrating to the open source would give more opportunity to them and also to build a solution of a next level but because we used to get the different perspective related to that product, and people would might feel like this feature would be needful for me or anything, anything this should be integrated into this, so anyone can contribute into that. So that's why the switching to the open source is a great idea for any organization, as I have also heard recently, like not recently, months back, that Twitter is going to be open source. So that's really exciting. You have correctly mentioned that there might be a condition of a security issues, but I don't think so. The like it's that major issue into that.
Even Microsoft believes that open source software is a new industry accepted model for cross company collaboration. Like you can see Microsoft are using Linux kernel in their kernel. You have been seen like they have given WSL, Windows Subsystem Linux integration. So some of their code, that kernel code, is of course open source because they are taking it from Linux. So I think many AWS services, etc. I think the OSS, what we call as open source software, is the industry accepted model for collaboration. I think industries are evolving, and they will at one point at the stage will switch, especially if not completely for some of the services. And of course if you look at that, it of course improves collaborating and managing the stuff a lot easier. It gives a
Yeah.
transparency to the users because in today's world users need transparency with the product they are using. So I think that is a better trust building step and might benefit the companies as well, and with a better relationship between the user, organization, and the software,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm. Like it also the main point here is the rapid innovation comes into the picture
Right.
into this. Yeah.
And it
So
also kind of drives innovation, as it can be
mhm.
a critique or modify existing code on a broader scale. So it drives innovation by programmers and developers. Also, as you know, the majority of cloud application are open source, and almost 90% of smartphones run on open source software. As you know, Android runs on Linux kernel again coming. So I think that's a better thing. As you see, focusing on AI, most of the building blocks are free software of AI. As you can see, they come under open source license. It might be MIT license or GNU license, stuff like that. So I think those proprietary softwares coming free is a handy and a good way of building blocks.
And we used to see like in Flipkart grade 4.0, they in their particular problem statement, they have given their problem statement on the specific which they are working on currently. So their specific problem statement was to integrate NFT stuffs while buying, to have a metaverse, or to have a social media integration for the reviews. So the organization or companies wants people to add a value into their organization. So there might be, or there is a possibility of transforming businesses or companies into open source.
Right. And I can see there are questions from Wilfred. We see a lot of people getting goodies from open source. Can a beginner get to? Or do we need to be pro in our stuff? Any comments?
It would be great to you to handle this.
Okay. So Wilfred, you can get goodies from open source. Sometimes you do not need to be pro in the stuff like pro. I think I associate pro with some high end code or stuff like that where you require to dedicate a lot of time, and open source do reward the new participants for their contribution. So it does not always need to be some pro stuff, some high end stuff. It can be basic like documentation, writing a blog on their product, or engaging in the communities, helping them through advocacy, might be entering in some contest and winning that contest. That can be stuff like that. So yeah, a beginner can also dwell well with the community culture, and of course can get some good nice goodies or swags from the organization as a part of appreciation.
Yeah.
But as I always say, don't run after the swag, run after the opportunity. It's a round way process.
Yeah, like specifically while working on Hacktober also, I have seen people focusing more on the four PRs merging, not on the quality of PR which they have done. So it's better to focus more on the value addition rather than on getting the swags, because like if you do your the stuffs properly, or of course you will get the token of appreciation from the organization or from any other stuffs or pieces. Would you like to add on into this, Pratik?
Yeah, I think it's enough. Like we have told it enough, and
Uh,
I think it's an hour mark. So that's great. I did not expect it to go till an hour mark. So what
hmm.
should we do? Should we end it? I think everyone's
I
queries
think
have been resolved.
you have not posted the project submission link.
Yeah, actually, it's on a Discord of there. So you will have to go there and navigate.
Okay, okay.
Wait, if I can share the Discord. Okay. So till then, you can go around any stuff. You can talk about MindsDB and their program. Yes. Go.
Yeah, so that's really great. I forgot literally.
And you're of
Uh,
course
so,
wearing the MindsDB T-shirt. I see.
yeah, you noticed. That's great. Okay, so MindsDB have a program for open source contributions specifically. So I would like to share the screen. Wait a minute. Okay, they have. Wait. Pratik, do you have the link? I am not getting MindsDB.
Yeah, you can go to MindsDB and get wait.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah, wait, I will drop you the link. So I have dropped the
Okay,
link in the chat.
uh, got the link.
You can go there and check out. So
Ah,
first of all, tell what is MindsDB.
so MindsDB is a community, or I can say an organization, which helps to integrate the databases or a structured. Okay, yeah, I'm sharing the screen. Wait a second. Wait a second. Mm, wait. Okay, fine.
And one thing, I am dropping the Hack Squad Discord link in the chat. You can go there and you will have something known as open source contest. And there, some people have already submitted the projects. You can see the format, and yes, you can send your contribution. The deadline is 31st of October. So yeah, if you are
Okay.
good enough project, you will win some swag, some cool range of swags. You can check out that website. It's cool enough to drive that enthusiasm inside of you. So yeah, Rishikesh, you can go around.
Okay, so MindsDB is a community, or an, like it's an organization specifically which used to work with a database integration. Okay, so their database is like unstructured or semi-structured database. You can specifically use according to the usefulness, like according to the need of the business or the project, and like you can integrate it with various stuffs. Like specifically, they used to work with the visualization stuffs and also for the machine learning. So here you can see uh, the specific DAR platform for Hacktoberfest, like how you can contribute into MindsDB. So you can see here, first is integration idea. So they used to integrate it with various companies or stuffs, like I can say Power BI, or there are many other companies through which the application used to integrate with. So you can suggest your ideas of integration, of having integration of any ML stuffs with the database. Then second, here we can see the second contribution is code or low and no code. Okay, so here only you need to have a contribution to their docs, to share social media post about having an outreach, write a tutorial or submit a UX design, build a data source integration, or make a video tutorial, or having build an ML framework integration. So there you can, if you are a beginner or having a non-technical knowledge, then you can contribute into low and no code area. And third is the video tutorials, where you can first you need to write a tutorial, or prepare a tutorial specifically about having an agenda of using the MindsDB or integrating with other stuffs, and explaining it into an tutorial, specifically video tutorial. So there are like three phases, or I can say the three opportunities from MindsDB specifically for this year Hacktoberfest. And they have also mentioned about the prizes, and here we need to submit our work. So this is what all about the rewards they have mentioned here, and you can go around to their official website and get to know more about what they usually used to work with. And after learning through their courses, they have really good documentation stuff through which you can learn from, and the use cases. So specifically you can see here the queries here, and your business intelligence, wait. That you can train your model, then having a prediction by using and also having an integration with BI dashboard. Okay, so there are a lot of stuffs, and you can learn it from their case studies and the tutorials they have in their platform. So that was all about MindStream. Yeah, it provides a great opportunity every time. Not only Hacktoberfest, MindsDB used to provide opportunity every month by coming up with new opportunity events or competition like that.
So yeah, you can see the hack squad. So in this, basically, you can go and create a squad. You will get swags for contributing. The top contributors, of course, top 60 contributors get them. And you can also go to events. They have some pretty amazing open systems. You can join them as well, and you can check a leaderboard once you start the game. Yeah, that's it for my hack squad. So I guess we had a good response from you guys, and we are excited for the next session that we will be planning. Mostly it will be on the weekends so that you guys don't have to worry about it. And today was a bit longer session, 1 hour. We did not expect that, but yeah, mostly it will be an
Yeah.
hour long session. If it would be hands on or anything about like more like machine learning, augmented reality, or full stack development, any kind of boot camp would be having would be on the weekends. Yeah,
Yep. So
cool.
that's all from our side.
If you have any more question, you can ask. Okay. Thank you
Okay,
guys
we
for
have
attending the
David
session.
from UK.
Okay, great. So yeah, bye guys. Once again, we will open the cam and yeah, bye guys. So let's end the podcast.